This is your host, Player One, and like I mentioned before, we're gonna have a little So I got my other friend in line who we're like big anime fans and stuff like that. So we're gonna kind of have a nerd out moment and just talk about animes today and see what happened. We're gonna see how many animes we get through, but we're not probably we're gonna get through a lot of them. So this is actually my other friend on the other line right now. Say what's up, man.
Hey, hey, it's Kensei 2000. What's up, guys?
All right. So for this stream, right? For the most of my streams, I may call myself Player One, but you guys can just call me Junior, and we're gonna have him call me Junior throughout the stream. So if you guys hear that, don't be thrown. And for this stream, I'm actually just gonna try to continue to farm and have like a good playthrough and see what happened. We're still trying to get through summer year one, so we're gonna try to get through summer and see how far we go. I think we're like day 20 something in summer. So like I said, I won't be doing much commentary for the game, but we'll do more like anime stuff. Alright? Alright, so you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So the first anime we're gonna talk about is Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go talking about that first and see what happened, and then
You should let them know that, like, you mean well, but you're bad with names.
absolutely terrible with names. I mean, it's gonna be bad. It really is. I barely do English well, and then trying to talk about like these names they use, it's gonna be bad. So you're gonna hear him correcting my names and stuff like that. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. He knows. So he knows that. So
yeah. I know what it's like to have to translate all that for for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I happen to love this anime. This happens to be a personal favorite of mine. It's a big deal for me. I don't know. I mean, what's bad about this anime? You know what I mean? It's got superpowers. It's got fighting. It's got what it means to be a hero. It's the whole package. You know, as far as I'm concerned. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's as far as the animes go from the recent one. It's actually really good. I do enjoy a lot of it, and the characters, for the most part, they're very They're not just using this simple, You do have the main character who's this I want to be a hero type guy, and then you have the other characters though, who are like, I kind of want a hero, but then you have the other ones. I just want to blow things up. You know what I mean? And then you have like the villains who are kind of like. You can kind of understand them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Because, like, for example, Stain. Let's step back and start from the beginning before we jump right into the I guess current season.
Yeah, hold on. I think you're talking about like the Joker effect from from the Dark Knight.
Exactly.
Everybody's like a little disturbed that the Joker made a little too much sense.
Yeah, and it's like you kind of understand it because you're like, okay, yeah, he's kind of nuts, but I see what you're saying. You know what I mean? And I think Stain kind of has that same effect because you're like, okay, these heroes, a lot of them they're not real. Some of them are not really heroes. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're just in for this for the fame and the money. And he's pretty much like, yeah, you guys are just being jerks. This is not what you know what I mean? You can't call yourself heroes.
I get that. Yeah, I would say Boku no Hero Academia does a very good job of explaining people's motivations and like relating them to the audience. Because you're right. I mean, like in a world, I guess in a world setting where hero is a profession, is an actual job, you are going to have people who are in it for the money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or in it for the fame, I mean, they actually have a couple of heroes like that. You have Endeavor, you have that snake chick who was just doing like all the commercials and like, the perfumes and stuff like that.
Oh, the giant girl.
No, in season 2, I can't remember what her name was. But they were going off of their hero internship, not their internships. This was right after the tournament.
Okay.
I can't remember her name,
Is
but
that the one that the girl that makes things with
yes,
train with?
yes, yeah. I can't remember. Oh, Yao Razu? Wow, she has a like name. That yeah, she went to train for I think it was just a week with this pro hero whose name I cannot remember. But this lady, like all she did was commercials and like the occasional patrol. But even on patrol, it was just like to market herself. So
Yeah, yeah.
you know, in a sense, that was just a natural progression of making heroism legal. And then you have guys like Endeavor who are, just really obsessed with being the best fighter. I don't even know if you could call him a quote-unquote hero. He's a combatant. You know what I mean? Like he looks tough. Like the stuff he did is actually really cool. Because in that season 2 fight with all the different Nomus, the notion to like heat up your feet, the bottom of your feet, just enough to melt like concrete and steel, just so that you can run up the side of a building with like with the combination of adhesion, that is genius. I never would have thought of that. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, Endeavor as a hero, he's pretty. He might,
Nah.
he's like, what's his name? What's the explosion guy?
Buck. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That is exactly.
He's like that, they're.
Yes.
They might be, they're using the word hero a little loosely, and they do intend to do the right things, but they're just not, your traditional hero. Like for example, you have All Might, right? And All Might literally is his thing is to save people. His want, you know what I mean? He wants to make sure everybody is better. That's
Right,
that's
exactly.
all he really wants. Versus you have the other guys who, yeah, they want everybody to be better and they want people to be safe, but they want to be the best at it. And I think that's where Endeavor and Explosion Guy comes in a little different than the others, versus like Midori and All Might.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean that's perfect. That's perfectly said. Bakugo and Endeavor. Bakugo is like Endeavor as a young person. Like I can't
Yeah,
imagine Endeavor being anybody else.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And his number one. He even said it in. I forgot where he said it, but he was always obsessed with being number one. That was it. He just wanted to be the strongest. And All Might was always miles beyond him, and he could never bridge that gap, and that's why. Which is, I mean, I really don't like him as a person for this reason, but that's why like he married his wife and
Yeah.
had his kids. Like you're breeding now for this. Like that was just really a disgusting concept to me. I know that it's something that was done a lot back in the day, but that's just a really disgusting concept to me, and it really ruined him in my eyes. Like I can't imagine him being a hero, a quote unquote. I can imagine him being a really strong fighter, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, he's a hero in the sense of like when you think of like heroes, but he always does the right thing when it counts, I guess. He's a little twisted in how he gets to that sometimes, but I don't think he will let, like for example, when you think of a hero, right? It's somebody who put themselves at risk to save other people, right? That's kind of what I think. I think the basic qualification for a hero is.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's my favorite thing about Boku no Hero Academia is because underneath all of the action, they're just asking you that question.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a hero? And they
Yeah,
ask
and
it
yeah.
like, every time they show the kids or the adults. They're asking you that question again.
And well, I think season 2 actually delved in a little deeper into it versus season 1, because usually first season is mostly them trying to get you into the characters.
Right.
And I
Right. I
think
get
that's what
that.
season one was mostly about. So it didn't have that depth, I want to say, in season one. Like season one was mostly about trying to get you into the main character and show you who he is, what he's about, and stuff like that. But I think towards like actually season three where I think season three is right now
Hmm.
leads really well into some really good not character development, but storyline development, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. You're right. Season one was a lot of build up,
Yeah.
the introduction of things. Um, Although I would say that episode 13 fight between All Might and No Might was dope. That
Yeah,
was
that
good.
fight.
I mean, yeah, I had read the manga, but watching that in animation was really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fight scenes they had and stuff like that were really um they did a lot of the characters justice in the way they create them and stuff like that, and I do appreciate that with it. Um, but like I said, it brought up a whole different type of thing about what a hero is, and I'm gonna go back to a little what is it? What just came out? Civil War a year ago or so. It kind of brought that same issue that the comic brought up when they first introduced Civil War. You know what I mean? Are you really a
Yeah,
hero if you're getting paid for it?
right. No, you're absolutely right. You
And
know, and
I think,
then
yeah,
I mean, I can see where. I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree to an extent, but I feel like Marvel's Civil War event had more to do with distrust of the federal government having access to people who are essentially nuclear weapons.
true.
But I do get what you're saying. It's like, are you really a hero if you're getting paid for it?
And like I said, I agree with that in a weird way because of the fact that, let's be honest, governments got their own agenda. A
Yeah,
hero's
no, I completely agree.
supposed to be a little bit more above that, I want to say.
Right,
They're not really,
right,
just for one country or one people, they're for everyone. And that's kind of where I guess I want to say, like, problem comes up with a hero being registered. That's why I kind of understand what Stain was saying. And
right.
and he's a little office rocker, but he's not office rocker completely because he do recognize true heroes. You know what I mean? People who has the potential to become good heroes.
Right, right. I get that. Um, so I do. Right. I feel like if the government was going to legalize heroism, like if you were going to be considered no longer a vigilante, because I mean, in the definition of vigilante is technically someone who's doing something illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically a crime fighter who is not a lawful officer.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make that legal and make the hero system a thing, now you have people who are risking their lives for your country, for the planet, on a regular basis. When are they gonna have time to do a normal job? When are they gonna have time to have a normal life? You know what I mean? Like I feel like and don't get me wrong, in a weird moral way, I agree that that it should be about the heroism itself, and it shouldn't be about the money. But at the same time, with the natural progression of society as they depicted it in Boku no Hero Academia, I feel like paying these people for the services that they are rendering was kind of inevitable because they weren't going to have the time to make money any other way. You know what I mean? Like they weren't going to have time for a normal life. These are guys who dedicate themselves to their country 24/7. So they might as well get paid for it. Now, I don't like the idea of heroes like Uabami. That was her name. Thank you. The snake hero lady. I don't like the idea of heroes like that, where it seems to be more about the money than anything else.
I don't even remember her.
Yeah, if you go back in season 2, it was really her, the big hands girl from Class B, whose name I cannot remember, and Yaoyorozu from Class 1, who can create things.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up with Uwabami for the week. And they thought it was going to be great. They thought they were going to let her be heroes and do great things and stuff. And she really just had them like hold her bags while she was doing modeling shoots and like, patrolling, but like, just to look good. And she even said like, I picked you two because you're cute and because you'll look good on camera if I need you.
Oh yeah, I actually do remember that. Yeah. Now I remember that whole thing.
So the notion that paying heroes can degenerate the profession into stuff like that, I don't like.
Okay.
But again, at the same time, I feel like paying them became inevitable because they don't have the time. Like, how are they going to feed themselves otherwise? You know what I mean? You're going to have someone who dedicates his life to saving you, but he can't feed himself?
Okay. Okay. I see where that's going, and I get that. My thing is a little bit what do you call it? A little bit more on the line of. So, I want to jump into a little bit of the Marvel DC here for a second.
Okay.
And that's because it actually has a really good example for me to work with.
Right.
They did a series called The Dark Knight Return. And you could look at The Dark Knight Return, there's even like what's it called? Russian Superman?
Yeah, I know him.
Which is another concept they did. But the problem with those guys, yeah, Red Sun. The problem with those guys is not that they're evil so much, but their mission is the country, right?
Right.
Which puts the issue as now, if you're trying to serve the country, you're aligned to that regime or government, whatever it is. Your heroism is just in line with just, you know what I mean, that one place, that one city, or that one country you're with, versus more of a everyone type hero. And then what do you do if, like, for example, your country and a different country get in a war? You know what I mean? Whose side do you fight on? You're employed by this group. Now, you're obligated to fight for them now? You know what I mean? And that's kind of where my thing is. If you're here, as a hero, as an employed hero by whatever group, you are now stuck to fight. Your group is doing something, right? Your group is starting a war. You're pretty much like a super weapon that they could just deploy to, raise the odds.
I get that. Which, I mean, is always the issue with, again, like I was saying earlier with Civil War, with, essentially human nukes being employed by the government. Which is it's a very odd scenario, and I think that Boku no Hero Academia is really just kind of not addressing it.
Yes, I think it's too deep to touch, at least right now.
Yeah.
Because it opens like.
Because like in the world they've created, I think that question just doesn't make sense in the world they've created.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, in that world it doesn't really show up.
Yeah.
But I think, but that's the thing though. I think it's going to start showing up now though, because if you look at like, from where I am right now. Like I said, I'm not as ahead as you are, and from the issue that you're starting to see where society is starting to want to put more of a check on heroes, I think they're going to be reined in a lot more now, and by doing that, you're going to force, these, because right now they have like hero squads, I guess, or guilds, whatever you want to call it. But I think agencies. There we go. I knew the word, I just couldn't. Yeah, so these agencies right now is the one who deploy these heroes. But if they want to centralize that, you end up having each, city with their own set of heroes.
Okay, okay. I can see your issue there. Um, so the thing, okay. It, how do I go about explaining this properly? It's it becomes more an issue of a lack of trust in heroes, rather than putting checks on heroes. Um, so I think it was like in issue one, no, like issue 90-ish,
Mm-hmm.
um, of the manga, where All Might, has his final fight against All for One,
Oh, this
and
is a spoiler
essentially,
compared. This is a spoiler for the story. Anybody who's just
yeah,
watching, just
this is
watching
where we
the.
talk about the manga and not the anime. Sorry about that. If you haven't, yeah, whoops. If you haven't read the manga,
Oh, let's just give away the story. Give away one of the
this
biggest
is a
point to the
potential
story.
spoiler. Whoops.
Potential. This is like the spoiler.
My bad. I mean, in all fairness, though, you will see this season on the anime. Like, I promise you will see that this season on the anime.
Yeah, you don't have long to go. It's gonna happen soon.
Yeah, I apologize for spoiling that. Yeah, so I guess I'll just say spoiler alert from now on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so spoiler alert. When All Might has his final fight with All for One, that's televised. You know what I mean? The nation sees him for what he is and sees his loss of power, and sees a villain so powerful and so clandestine that they thought he was an urban myth. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
you're seeing two things happen at the same time. You're seeing the light fade, and you're seeing the darkness grow at the same time. And so it drove into people a real lack of faith in heroes, because this is the guy who is essentially Japanese Superman. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because he is to Boku no Hero Academia what Superman is to DC Comics. He is this focal point of heroism in general.
The one point that should never fail.
Exactly. He is the gold standard of what it means to be a hero, the same way Superman is. I mean, when you think hero in DC Comics, he is the first person that comes to mind. This is a guy who can, who has the power to level planets if he wanted to, but instead reins himself in to protect life. That is his goal. That has always been his motivation. And it's the same with All Might. All Might, the more he fights, the more you realize, like, he could destroy things if he wanted to. That is not a guy you would want to go up against, like, regardless of who you are. But instead, he focuses on, and he actually says this, this is not a spoiler, he says, I want to be the pillar of society. I want to hold this society up so that they can have hope for themselves. And I really respected that. But now, once again, we're going back into this spoiler territory. After that fight with All for One, he's done. You know what I mean? He can't maintain his power form. And now it's going to be Midoriya. You know what I mean? And he's not ready yet. And I think, All Might is depressed because he doesn't know what to do with his powerlessness now. You know what I mean? Like, imagine being the one who protected everybody, and imagine taking pride in that, and imagine that you can no longer do that one day.
Yeah, I think he's in a tough position. I think the manga actually talked about that a little bit because they had this training scene. They pretty much addressed that quickly with him showing he realized the situation he's in.
Right, exactly.
In a weird way, and that to the point where I think, who was it? Explosion guy. I can't remember his name for the life of me.
Bakugo.
What's it? Bakugo. Him. He had to save him, and he was like, "This is where I fell." You know what I mean? And I think he is already in that situation, trying to figure out what's his purpose now, because he spent his whole life. You know what I mean?
be
And
the guy.
yeah, and the anime doesn't haven't really addressed it how long he's been doing this since, you know what I mean? So he could have been doing this as young as Midori.
Right, exactly. It's a whole thing.
So
It's a
he's
whole
been
yeah, because I think he went to UA.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where he's been in this his entire life, and it's kind of now he can't. You kind of lose, like, you know what I mean? What do I do now? What's next for me? And I think that's the way it's going with this, because I think you could already see that even now in the anime with All Might, because he's kind of already there in a weird way, because he can't go all out all the time, and he's not, you know what I mean? He's not the hero he once was.
Right.
Like
Right,
he's
exactly.
trying, he's really trying, but and even in season 2 when they had that fight when he fought against the that stupid clone thing, I think they kind of Nomu, yes, they kind of briefly addressed it where he was talking,
Yeah.
you know, that he wasn't. He's supposed to be this, like he set himself so high that now he, you know what I mean, like failure is no longer an option.
Right.
And I think that Nomu fight kind of showed that a little bit more, that he's starting to feel his own mortality, I guess you could call it. And I don't know, like I said, it is it is like kind of watching. This is like going back and seeing the death of Superman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
but
one. Of the,
but like permanent.
yeah, it's
Like
one. Of the,
permanent.
well, at the time,
It's
nobody knew Superman could be raised 150,000 times.
I know, but it's like, oh god, like what a virgin. Like he's gotta die sometime. I get it.
I mean the first time. But
like,
yeah,
oh.
it's like going back and watch that though, and I think that's kind of where their group is. That's where the people are. Because you look at when Superman first died, and as much as the movie didn't do a lot of good stuff, they did went into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How it took,
Yeah.
even with all 5 of them, they still couldn't replace that one hero.
Right, exactly.
And I think that's
Exactly.
what, yeah. So one hero, and 5 of them couldn't replace him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things again where you end up in that situation where, not just, and Superman isn't strong because he's like super powerful. He's strong just because he's Superman, and what he stands for is ideals and who he is.
Right.
And I think that's the thing with All Might too. All Might, he's pretty much said it. That's why he saved everybody with a smile. He always got a smile on, no matter how many people he cannot save.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I think that's kind of,
It's about giving those people that hope.
and I think that's the issue that Endeavor faces. He can't inspire that level of hope in anyone, to say to be honest. You know what I mean? Like he can inspire awe, and he's like a Batman character. He can inspire awe and fear, but he can't inspire you
Give
to be
hope.
better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's where Superman kind of beats, and even All Might beats all them at, because you look at Bakudo, as much as he's a hothead, even his goal is All Might.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And he's the biggest loose cannon you'll find out there. Even though
Although, I gotta stop you there, because to be clear, he isn't. His goal isn't All Might because of All Might's heroism. He says it. He says it very clearly. He says like, All Might always wins, so that's who I want to be. I want so like. It's a very weird thing with him. Like he's kind of even he has this like twisted idea of what All Might represents and what All Might's purpose is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because All Might, that's like, even if All Might were to lose, it wouldn't, it's not about winning or losing to All Might. It's about saving lives, it's about protecting the people. But to Bakugo, it's just, he's the strongest. And that's what I want to be. And again, like, that's where the parallel to Endeavor is drawn. Because Endeavor doesn't really care about the people per se. It's just about being the strongest. So and you know, going back to what I mean, the quote-unquote death of Superman / All Might. Um, you're absolutely right. You know, but I do think, and this is where I kind of diverge from All Might. This is where I feel like All Might made his mistake. Uh, you can't have one person propping up an entire society. You can't. No one is immortal. You know what I mean? Like when you die, that's it. If everybody's hopes rest on you, then what happens when you're gone? You know what I mean? Which is exactly the ramifications that we're seeing now.
Oh,
People are
will be
losing
seen.
faith. Well, yeah, will be seen. Yes,
I
my
think
bad.
we do have some of that going on now too, even with UA
Well,
and the attacks on UA and stuff like that. People are starting to complain.
right, right. People are starting to have big issues with UA as an educational facility. Um, but going further, and thank you for reminding me. Spoiler alert: the death of Superman, of All Might. I use them interchangeably in my head, Superman and All Might. But the death of quote unquote All Might um, really removes people's faith not just in UA but in heroes, because even the heroes looked up to All Might.
Yeah,
Like even when other heroes were on the scene, if All Might showed up, even the other heroes started feeling more confident.
yeah.
That was just his effect. And now that guy is gone. And you're seeing the ramifications, again, spoiler alert, of what happens when an entire society depends on one guy. Which I think, again, was his mistake. He
But
wanted to
again,
be.
I don't know if I can call that his mistake though,
Well, how
because
so?
it's not. I don't think he set out to just be. You know what I mean? Make this all about me. I think it kind of the standard he set was so high, and it's kind of one of those. You've heard like Sting talk about it. You make people follow you by running to keep up versus you pushing them. And
Right.
I think he was just so far ahead of the group that people had no choice but to look up to him, if that makes any sense.
Mm, yeah, alright, I can give you that. Because, it's just inevitable, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is what happens when the one guy that everybody's relying on. And actually, that's actually a good point. If you notice, like, the quality of hero had gone down. And they make several references to this in the anime. Because the very existence of Stan, um, he says repeatedly, he's like, heroes are not heroes. There's only one who's an actual hero.
Hmm.
And I, I would argue that you could contribute that to the existence of All Might. If everybody's got faith that All Might's going to save the day, you don't really have to try as hard.
Okay,
You know
I
what I
see what
mean?
you're going there. But how is that? That's like saying, because you know what I mean. Again, that's a different issue again. Because that's saying now, if I work hard because I'm doing good, nobody else has to. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, if you work hard enough for you, then other people still have to work hard. But if you're working hard and you're providing for everybody around you, then technically the people around you don't have to work as hard anymore because you're providing for them. It's, I mean, and we're breaking away
Yeah,
from,
we kind of.
uh, from anime in general with this topic.
I think we.
Um,
Yeah,
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 because I mean, that's even a historical thing.
yeah,
Tough times breed tough people.
yeah. It's
So if All Might has made things better, then you're not having tough times, which means you're not breeding tough people.
okay. Let's get back. Let's try to get back a little on track. And what I was curious about, I was thinking about it this morning. I was lying in bed. I just got up and like, let me see what I want to talk about this. And do you think All Might will ever come out and say, "This is my protege"? 'Cause I think just doing that alone will restore some of that faith that he's lost by showing that I didn't just die. You know what I mean? Or the title All Might didn't just got lost, but this is a hero I believe could replace me.
Okay. And now we're dealing with the hypotheticals here because this hasn't even shown up in the manga.
Well, no, but we already pretty much know that what's his face is his replacement. That's pretty much.
We all know that.
Even in the manga, even in the anime. That's what I'm trying to say. When do you think he will bring that out to the rest of the world? 'Cause I think that will actually.
Oh, so okay. All right. I seem to have a little like misunderstood a little bit. So you're assuming that it's a foregone thing, like it's going to happen.
I think they've pretty much said it's no. I don't. That's the thing. I don't know because All Might might never tell anyone, and that's kind of the way he's. As far as is concerned, even the school doesn't seem to know.
But
right?
And that's my thing. Yeah. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that he will say this is my successor, because to acknowledge Midoriya as his successor, and then for Midoriya to have like the exact same power, I think it would be close to admitting the existence of One for All, and that's something that he's kept a very guarded secret.
True.
So I don't think
he will
ever directly come out and say, you know, this is my purchase. From what, even like, because All Might was the 8th holder of One for All, and Midoriya is the 9th.
Yeah.
Even the 7th holder of One for All, it doesn't look like she like publicly acknowledged him either.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, no one says All Might is that person's successor. The only reason we even know that was his successor is because he said so.
True.
So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. However, circumstances being what they are, to restore faith to society, yeah, I could see it happening.
And like I said, I think that would do some good for them in a weird way, because if they think there's no other, and don't forget this story is being told from Midori's point of view, where it's how he becomes a hero, so we know he is a hero. You know what I mean? And I'm using the word hero because of how he used it, so he has to be at least a hero as acknowledged as All Might. You know, because that's been his goal. So I don't think he'll be considered himself a hero if he didn't get to that standard. Fair?
Maybe. I mean, I could see that, yeah.
Because if that's your goal, you know what I mean, you can't consider yourself there if you're not there. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm thinking about that.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I feel like more than anything, it's about, for guys like him and All Might, for guys like Midoriya and All Might, more than anything, it's just about the people. I don't know if he would stop himself from calling himself a hero if, you know, he wasn't as good as All Might. I think once he graduates and you know, becomes a sidekick or becomes a hero, then yeah, he'll just be like, I'm a hero, but I'm not, you know, I'm not as good as All Might yet. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing between them. I mean, they're exploring the relationship between the two of them, and I do think that he said he's going to be the greatest hero. That's the premise of the entire show.
Yeah. No, actually, I was watching it, and he said, "This is how I become the greatest hero." So he's already there, at least at the end of the story, because that's how that's how the anime starts.
Right.
This is my story, how I become. Yeah. So it's
So it. So he does become the greatest hero. We know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But
I guess
I feel like his entire class becomes more powerful. I mean, they keep saying it and they keep alluding to the fact that this is not just Midoriya's story, but this is a story of an entire class of students who really prop up the next generation entirely. Because you've got like Todoroki, who is now learning, who's now letting go of his issues with his father and using his fire and becoming stronger. You've got Bakugo, who, repeatedly goes through failures in order to, which I do feel is important for him as a character, because he is dangerously close to villainy. Like, that is just a real problem. Dangerously close to villainy. So
Absolutely.
I do think the show is doing a good job of putting some humility into him, because I feel like that's the only thing he needs. He's already got all the talent in the world.
He's absolutely talented.
He's got power. Crazy. But
he's a little bit too hot-headed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he needs, more than anything, humility. Once he has that, the sky's the limit for him. That's it.
I think he's one of those characters that will be able to do pretty much anything he wants. And he's already starting to show in that he's next to was it Todori, the fire and ice guy? He's literally the second most talented character there.
Right, exactly. Because even they go toe to toe.
Yeah.
In the tournament, and even though Todoroki doesn't use his fire, he definitely, they would have a really good fight, and I wish that they had explored that better. But I get why they didn't, just because of Todoroki's, emotional issues with his dad.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that they're starting to show character development in a lot of places. He's starting to grow a little bit now too, because he really needed to grow. He was kind of, and I think Midori told him this in season 1. You know what I mean? You're not using, it's your powers. Forget how you got it. You know what I mean? And who it's from, but how can you aim to be the best if you're only using half your strength? Kind of thing, you know?
Right. Exactly. Which it's just like a disrespectful thing. Like, did you really think you were going to be better than all of us without even trying? So I get that. I get that notion. But that, honestly, is why Midoriya's the guy. Like, that's why he's the best. That's why he's going to become the best. Is because he's always trying to help everyone around him 24/7.
Yeah, he has the mainstream character quirk. You know what I mean? I like to call it the Naruto quirk, where he always everybody just falls in love with him.
Right, exactly.
Because I was watching what was it? The new episode today when he fought that muscle guy. It came out this morning. I literally watched it before we hop on this call. Where he's fighting the muscle guy, and that little kid Kanto, who didn't believe in Hero, was like, "Oh, now this is my hero," blah blah. If you haven't seen it yet, it's out, so I'm not really spoiling anything. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, this is my hero. This is the guy who's gonna make me believe in heroes again." And I'm like, okay, I see. You know what I mean? Because he literally risked everything to,
I remember that fight.
Which I think is really tough. But I think Midori kind of has his short end of the stick right now, in a lot of ways. And the reason why I'm going to say that, he has all this power that he can't use. And his desire to help is so great that I don't see him getting out of this unscathed. Like, I know now they're trying to work on quirk development, and I'm trying not to explain, like what he does to get to that level, but he has, I think, the hardest road of everyone there. Because for one, naturally he's not a fighter class, you know what I mean? He doesn't have that fighter set skill.
Right.
So he's not really built for that. And this quirk that he inherited, it requires physical strength. And I know that's what he's working on. but he's destroying his body. Like, the fight he had just had with this muscle guy, he tore up his arm. Like, you know what I mean? And there's many scenes before where even Eraser was like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And Eraser was mad with All Might for it because he's like, you give this guy this, you know what I mean, two-headed sword, and he's hurting himself.
Well, Eraser doesn't know. Eraser's not one of the people that knows.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. The principal knows. Recovery Girl knows.
I think that's about it.
The police officer, like Tsukauchi?
Seems to know. I don't know. And the old man.
And yeah, and Gran Torino.
Yes.
The only people that we know.
No, so what Eraser was telling him not to use his power because it's causing him damage.
Yeah.
But yeah,
even
so
the
it's
cover girl was telling him, like, you can't keep doing this to yourself.
and I know Gran Torino taught him enough to, like, you know, not be a total damage to himself.
Right.
But like I said, what happens when he needs more power? Like he needed for this last episode that just came out. He couldn't beat the guy at 100%, so he had to go, you know what I mean? And 100% is dangerous for him. You know what I mean? His functional limit right now is like, was it 5%, I think? So 5% is the max he could use right now without causing damage. And to beat this guy, he said he went to like, what, 1,000,000%?
Yeah, and I think he got inspired by season 1 All Might.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, so it's kind of one of those situations where I think not only is he like, he's horribly not built for his powers, but he got his power from the greatest hero ever, in his own eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he kind of he, in a weird way, pulled the short straw because he has such an ideal not only to live up to or try to be, he literally has to live up to his mentor ideal. And not only his mentor, but the person he admired the most.
Yeah, which definitely puts a lot of mental pressure on him. To, you know, to really live up to that expectation. Which is funny because, like, even All Might doesn't really have as much expectation of him as he has of himself now.
I think All Might expects a lot of him. That's why he gave him his powers. Choose to pass it on to him.
But not to the point of self-destruction.
No, of course not. He'll be a terrible mentor. That was his goal. But I think he do expect him to pick up that mantle and take it.
Right.
And I think that's kind of Midori's in that situation now where he wants to pick up that mantle, but he's horribly, he just isn't really qualified for it. And I think even All Might, he already had the body for that power.
Right.
Right? So when he got his power, he didn't have Midori's weak body. He was a lot stronger to begin with.
That's fair.
So I kind of want to see how he progressed to get to the point where he could not hurt himself every day, just to, you know what I mean, where he could handle a tough opponent and not cause that level of severe damage to himself.
I get that. So, I mean, if you think about it, the way they've set it up now, there's going to be a natural progression of the percentage that he can use. So you're going to see an increase. You're eventually going to see him use more than 5% and maybe 10, 20, 30 as time goes on. So I'm really just looking forward to that. But in regards to the fight with, I can't even remember this villain's name. Oh my! I'm supposed to be the one helping you with this. In that fight with him, this is a guy who can literally just like build the muscle in an instant that can go toe to toe with All Might.
Yes.
Going 100% wasn't going to cut it. You know what I mean? Like, So what made anyone think that 5% was going to cut it? The second those two guys came toe to toe, and the second the villain didn't want to let Midoriya go, 100% plus was inevitable. Even just to get away. So that, I understand why he did it, and I feel like that's one situation where you kind of just have to let it go. So spoiler alert, even though it's not that big a deal, Recovery Girl is gonna be pissed by this. Like when she sees his arm.
Oh, she's always yeah.
She is like beyond pissed this time. She is like officially done with him as a human being. But like, and I get where she's coming from, because it's like, you cannot keep doing this to yourself. If you keep doing this, you're gonna be a vegetable before you even become the greatest hero.
Muscler.
His name was Muscler?
That's what shows up here in the Wikipedia.
Really?
Hold up.
I mean, you couldn't come up with anything better than that.
Villain part of this Sentai squad. Muscler is a tall, bulky. Yeah.
That is lame.
Yeah.
That is lame.
That's all.
Lame name, yeah.
That's all he has there. Doesn't have any other thing for name, just Muscler.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think he was a good challenge for Midoriya as a first fight.
As a first real, like, toe-to-toe villain fight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think he really, in a lot of ways, I want to say he kind of, I think he put Midoriya in the right path to being the hero he wants to be. Because if you look at earlier in the episode, I'm sticking to the anime again, when Midoriya was trying to inspire that kid, his issue wasn't that he wasn't strong enough. It wasn't a power thing. It was simply he didn't know how to be a good hero like that. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't know how to inspire to that level. And I think Todoroki told him, just words from somebody like you wouldn't matter. You got to show him. And I think Midoriya's on that path right now. The issue is, as soon as he figures out how to do it without damaging himself,
Yeah,
I think he'll be a much better hero, if that makes sense. Because right now he's kind of in a full fight, he's a liability. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he might be strong, and I think later on everybody's gonna see this in the anime, where after this fight he just had, he's a liability. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? So he goes to this he's so single-minded that there's no like future plans on his power, what he's gonna do after the fight's over.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, it's true. He kind of just becomes a one and done.
Yeah. And I think that's his biggest feeling right now, I want to say, as a hero.
Yeah.
The moment
Agree.
the moment he learned to deal with that better, and that'd be such a, yeah, 'cause at this current stage you can't really depend on him for that long haul. And I think that's kind of even the difference with All Might. You could depend on all, you know what I mean? Like, you look at All Might, even when he fought the what is it, in season 2, when he fought that little what do you call that thing, man, that was created to beat him?
Nomu, yeah.
Nomu, yes. When he fought Nomu had him beat. Because it literally was built to beat him. And he found the other, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, even though he went to that level of extreme to extreme using all the power he could find, he doesn't hurt himself. I think that's just more training, but I think All Might is the hero that does whatever you want it to be.
Hold on. I actually have someone commenting. Jabez Cabbage is asking if it's My Hero Academia. Yeah, it is. Game volume too loud. I will check to see.
Is that my game volume or yours? I know I turned mine down.
I didn't turn mine down, so I'll probably have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just head over to settings real quick.
Yeah. So you can turn it down.
Settings, network notifications, devices, storage, things. I am not seeing an option.
Can't you change it like in game?
No.
In game lets you change, like for example, mine does music, so I could do like music, environment sounds and stuff like that. I have sounds going to the in-game settings, and you should be able to change your sound settings.
Let me finish with this quest. I was stuck in a. Alright. I think Bakugo will turn evil next season. So
I think
I'm not gonna spoil either way. I mean,
I don't think it's a spoiler, but we've already mentioned that before, and even the anime has mentioned that from season 1. This is literally his story of him becoming. No wait, Bakugo. That's the fire guy, right?
No, we're talking about Bakugo, yeah.
Yes. Well, in this episode, the League of Villains is trying to they're looking for him. So I don't know. He like I said, I think we said it earlier. He is literally on the brink of being a villain. He's very villainy in the way he behaves.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree that he has more villainous tendencies than anything.
And I think that's why his training he was sent with that guy to learn to behave.
So Jabba is one guy who hasn't read the manga, so I'm really gonna try and hold back from spoilers from this point on.
Yes, we'll do our best.
I don't want to ruin it. Boku no Hero Academia happens to be one of my favorite shows of all time. I really love it, and I personally would hate to have things spoiled for me. So I'm gonna do my best to avoid spoilers altogether.
Okay, so we'll keep everything up to this episode of the show.
Yes, we can talk about Muscler. Really, that's such a sad name.
At least that's what the Wikipedia said. I just look at the Wikipedia and it's like, oh, Muscler. I'm like, okay then. I'm like, even I could do a better name than that. I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's kind of like short and to the point as far as names go, because like that's what he does. He can literally just build muscle.
Yeah.
But still, like that's just sad.
Yeah, that's just a fun name for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so I had the same question. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had the same question too. The same question too, because I think I even asked you this a while ago. I'm like, I don't care about spoilers. Tell me, does he become a villain? Remember, because before he comes off that way, he just has that whole "I want to destroy everything" character, and that's that's why we kind of make the whole reference to him and Endeavor, because they both have this whole "I just want power" kind of thing going on. You know what I mean? I just want to be the strongest, the fastest, the best, and everything like that. And yeah, I think he do have the tendency to become a good villain. honestly, and I think in a weird way he could be a villain in the same way that Stain is a villain. Like,
Oh
you know what I
yeah.
mean? That kind of villain that actually has that, um, who could actually bring about the Joker effect. And that's all I'm gonna call it, Joker effect, because I can't think of a better way to a villain that could inspire. I think he has the characteristics of maybe doing that.
I'm watching Harumi Hasuzumiya at the moment. I've never heard of that. But if you are recommending it, yeah, why not? I guess I'll try it out. Bakugo is Sasuke. Bakugo is Sasuke, apparently.
You know, I don't know. I would say Bakugo's Naruto and the other guy is Sasuke.
Really?
The two
Why?
the fire ice guy.
I don't know if I'd say Bakugo is Naruto though. Like that
Think about it.
feels that.
He has all the character. And this last episode's prove it. I was like, I couldn't do it. He just sitting there like the kid was like, "This is now my hero. I'm gonna follow him." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's a Naruto move." That's the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, that's what Naruto would do.
I guess. I mean, that still feels like a bit of a stretch to me. I'm not gonna lie. So Todoroki compared to Sasuke, that makes a little more sense. Bakugo even, and I see what he's saying in terms of like their tendency to
Oh,
go towards villainy.
okay, so that's my fault. I kind of mixed names up again.
Oh, you did it again, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I really did. That was my fault. I mixed.
You got one job. You got one job.
After you said his name again, I'm like, wait, no, that's not what I was thinking about. That's my fault. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah.
You know, okay, Jabba. So Jabba says Naruto does not want to be better than Jiraiya, though. I think it's not that he outright wants to be better than Jiraiya, but I think being better than Jiraiya is a prerequisite of what he wanted to do.
Yeah. And in a weird
And
way,
so
I
by
think
extension.
Jiraiya wanted Naruto to be better than him, so it kind of put that. It kind of still have that because if you look at with Naruto, when they had the flashback when Jiraiya died, he told him, "I'm gonna leave something that I couldn't do to you. I need you to do it." You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, why? Yeah. So I don't know if I'd make that argument.
That Bakugo is Sasuke.
Bakugo is Sasuke? No.
I could see it.
I mean, I can. I just don't know if I completely agree. You know what I mean?
Okay. Why?
I feel like because Bakugo, and I guess unfortunately for Jabba, we've already spoiled whether or not Bakugo, completely goes villainous.
No, we didn't.
So again, I apologize. Well, he already figured it out. Like our bad.
But hold up. I know we spoiled in the beginning of this episode, but unless you go back.
That's when I said like, because he was like, I haven't read the manga. He was like, oh my bad, I haven't read the manga. And I was like, crap, he figured it out.
Yeah.
Of course, not all traits are similar. Yeah,
Let's still not say it though. But yeah, we'll still. You okay over there?
No, I'm fighting something that I think can kill me.
What are you playing?
Ni no Kuni 2.
Okay.
Oh fuck. Oh no, I'll be fine. He hit me finally, and he's a bitch.
Okay.
So yeah, Jabba says, of course, not all traits are similar, which yeah, okay. I was gonna use the thingy. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, at least in terms of his willingness to do whatever it takes, even if it's not necessarily heroic. Well, I mean, if you know, I don't want to ruin things for you. You know what I mean, Java? It's a really good story, and again, it's still going. Like they're still in school and everything. But I really don't want to ruin all of that for you. If you start reading the manga, I suggest it. It's always fun, but I guess from here on out we will try to keep spoilers down. I really don't want to
Yeah.
ruin it.
Yeah, we'll keep it down to a minimum. I think we could do that. It should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... What is it?
Oh, it's been yay.
What happened?
No, I think now I'm fighting something that will kill me. I thought the first one would kill me, but he was a bitch. But this guy, like, there was a prompt. Are you sure you want to fight him? So.
That's usually nice.
Yeah.
When they're like,
oh, he wrecked. He wrecked. Library doesn't have all seasons. Pun Oko. I'm not sure what Punoko is, but if you're referring to a website where you read the manga, I use mangapanda.com, and they're up to like 170 something. So you can try there. Let's say this here.
or if you want and you don't mind paying a little bit, you could always go get the official release at what's it called? I think it's Shonen Jump. They do I think it's like $25 a year. They do, and every week they send you like all 10 or 12 they release. So you get like Baki no Hero, you get not One Piece. Yeah, you get Baki no Hero, One Piece, and a bunch of others, all for like $25 a month, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if we're not like rolling and go, geez.
It's like $25 a year.
If we're not rolling and go.
Dude, I have so many different subscriptions that I'm just putting it out there. What?
When does Boruto get good if you know? Are you referring to the anime or are you referring to the manga?
Let's keep this anime related.
Well, he's asking when does Boruto get good. I think he's referring to the... Oh my god, I'm just running now. Like, that's all I'm doing in this fight. Oh my god.
Well, I think Boruto, they already says he gets good by the end. But as far as the anime, he's always been pretty...
No, I mean like as far as the series. Anime, when does the anime get good? It's gonna start getting good now. It's gonna start getting good now. So I'm not too far ahead of where you're at in the manga, mostly because they actually take the time to go over all of this in the manga as well. So if I'm assuming you've seen, the Boruto movie, and all of, what they're going over now in the anime is basically the movie. But if you watch it, I guarantee they're gonna like change a few things and add a little something at the end. Yeah, it's just recapping the movie. Just keep watching. They're gonna change some things. They're gonna tweak it, and the ending is gonna be a little different than what you're accustomed to, and they're gonna add some stuff. But just be patient, because once this arc is done, that's when things are really gonna start to pick up. I promise you that.
Yeah, that's the next one that's on my list. I'm not up to date with that one either.
I mean, Boruto, if you've seen the movie, I guess you don't have to, but it's still good to, because for the sake of the series plot, they're going to change a few things.
Yeah, and that's kind of where... That's kind of what I'm waiting for. It's kind of driving me nuts, because I don't want to skip too far ahead, because they do change little stuff. And that they'll make more critical to the story. Like, wait, what? I don't remember that. And then you got to go back and rewatch everything though after you're confused. And I'm trying not to just skip ahead, because you know me, I'll skip ahead and just be like, whatever. Just Google it, Google what I want to know. So I'm trying not to do that. And that's kind of where my issue is right now, that I'm kind of... It's still covering so much of the movie stuff that I'm kind of bored with it in that way, that I already seen it.
Apparently Jabba feels exactly the same.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's what...
His exact phrase is 55 episodes of torture so far.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you gotta like, you could do what I do, and I watch it while I'm doing other stuff around the house. That's kind of how I watch that until I could get that part taken care of. And once I'm through this whole movie part, I think it'll be a lot better of a show.
Well, I mean, and Jabba brings up a good point. Killer Bee's death sucked. They
Wait, they killed Killer Bee?
In the movie, they didn't even show that. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of like alluded to it. But
I don't remember they killing Killer Bee.
Yeah, because they came specifically to get the chakra from the tail beasts, and there are only 2 tail beasts left inside people.
True.
So that was inevitable.
I actually like Killer Bee.
He was actually one of my favorite characters. Yeah, he was such a good character, and he deserved a better death.
You guys are ruining my weekend. This was supposed to be a nice, cool, laid-back weekend, and no, this final Killer Bee died.
So you haven't watched it?
No. I'm waiting for it to get good so I can just binge it like I normally do everything else.
Oh my god, I'm doing nothing but running and hiding this entire fight.
Hey, you gotta step your run and hiding game up.
Oh my god.
Let's go fishing. I haven't gone fishing in a while.
Oh my god. No. And I'm officially out of potions. Oh my god.
Good job.
Yep. Nope. I'm running. Because I'm a bitch.
Good job.
Oh, goodness. Wow. That's the first time I've ever fought someone that tough.
Won't be your last, I'm guessing.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I really beat the story for this game, so I'm glad that there's still something to do. Wow. That one hurt. But yeah, back to Boku no Hero Academia. A little sidetrack there. I think one of my favorite characters right now is actually Ida. Who
Ida.
For you would be Speed Guy.
Oh yes. That's his name, right?
I've seen over 100 anime series. What would you consider my ranking as an anime fan? Better than me. I don't think I've seen 100. Like,
no, I've done some Netflix binging. I've seen anime that I won't even tell people about. I've seen some stuff, man.
Like what?
I don't know. Netflix got a bunch of cheesy ones that you could just sit down and watch that they didn't even make it into long-term memory.
That's fair. I have a big deal with dubs, man. I can't do it. I feel like English dubs of animes are just so low quality that it ruins it for me.
I think it depends.
In my opinion, there's only been a handful of good ones, and one of them, just paying homage to the great here, Cowboy Bebop.
I think I've seen episodes of that. I don't think I've actually finished that show.
Oh, can't be friends anymore. Oh, it was so nice to know you while I could. If you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop,
I know of it.
Friends.
I know of it, and I know what it's about, but
you have homework. Next time we're doing this, we're talking about Cowboy Bebop. You have homework. Like, I'm forcing you to do this. No, you cannot. No, I cannot associate with you if you have not seen this.
I'll go read the summary somewhere.
No, you're not cliff noting this. No. Jabba, I've only watched 3 dubbed animes. Yeah, same. Like, there's only been a handful. When I first started watching, when I was like, really young, I would watch on like Toonami, so obviously it was dubbed. It was only much later that I started realizing I started realizing that I can just watch it online in Japanese and subtitles and blah blah blah. See, like, even Jabba knows Bebop is classic. I mean, he said Bebop, but I get it. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop is a classic.
I agree. There's a lot of classics. Doesn't mean I want to see them. Like I haven't even seen like
Oh,
I've heard. There's just a lot of classic stuff you hear out there. I'm like, okay, I'll get to it, but I don't really know if I want. It's a
nah, you
dub.
gotta do it. They have a dub, but this is why I'm bringing it up. Cowboy Bebop is probably um, one of the only dubs I've ever considered like good enough. They did a very good job. I love Beep Bop. Okay, all right, you're sticking with your guns. I got you, fair. Um, oh, okay. Fluffy cloth. Um, yeah, like you have to watch Bebop.
I'll try it.
Tea kettle of a toasty. Okay, all right. No, don't try. Do it's even on Hulu.
I'll try.
No, do not try. Do. It's not even particularly long, and you don't even have to see the movie because the movie isn't related to the series. This conversation did not go. Sometimes a sub for anime goes too fast. You gotta find someone who's doing it right. You just gotta find someone who's doing it right.
So my thing with the sub is that I just never have I've never sitting in one place watching anything. The closest thing to sitting in one place that I do is playing these games. And even then I'm trying to figure out how can I play this stream and watch a show at the same time. So I get bored. Not bored, but I like to do a ton of different things at once. It's kinda how it works for me. So sitting there and reading the dub alone, it's like there's so many other 14 other things I can do that I just can't do if I'm doing that. And so that's kind of why I don't really watch a lot of sub. I do
Okay.
enjoy the sub, and like for example, like Boku no Hero actually I did the sub this morning, but it's tough to, what I mean? Like I was trying to make breakfast at the same time, and it's kind of tough to do that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of my thing for sub. I enjoy the sub, and I actually, when I first started doing after like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, I got into mostly sub because like I was doing Naruto, Bleach, and those things, and if you want to keep up, you either read the manga or you watch the sub. And so I've been into the sub for years. Just then, I gotta
The
figure out.
reasons. Sorry, Java says the reason Japanese voice acting is better is because Japanese is a more expressive language. I don't know. I don't know if I'd make that argument. I don't know if I can agree there. Hmm.
I'll agree that the voice acting a lot of time is a lot better with Japanese versus the English.
Absolutely.
They do sound a lot better than they do sometimes in the
Just
English.
sounds so, it just sounds so much like just
Yeah.
I think the timing is bad, like the syncing between the audio and the video is bad when they do dubs. I don't feel like the voice acting is I personally I just think Japanese uh, voice acting is taken more seriously there than it is here. Because I just, like, to me, they just seem to be putting out inferior product.
I agree with you in that aspect. That I think it is taken a little more serious there than it is here.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, I can't say all dub is bad because there's some really good ones and stuff like that I've done really well. That I've enjoyed. Um, Usually some of the Funimation one, even Boku no Heroes, the dub is not bad. I don't think the dub is, you know, terrible or anything to that extent. I don't know if you've seen the dub, but yeah, the dub is not. I don't think it's done bad at all. I think it's actually really nicely done for the dub. Compared to the sub.
I haven't seen. Okay, so Jabba is arguing that Bakugo sounds a lot more expressive in Japanese than in English. I haven't heard it in English. I've only heard it in Japanese, and you're right. It is pretty. I think it really does capture the rage on his face pretty well. Um, okay, all right. I can see your point there.
What's the point?
Yeah. Just like the capturing of the appropriate emotion. Oh, finally. Yes, he's a master. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. You know, Jabba, it might be a cultural thing. It might be a cultural thing. I think that America isn't as adept at expressing such intense emotion in a controlled setting. But I still will say that I do believe that it has more to do with Japan taking voice acting seriously as a profession.
And I think animes are more bigger over there too, so people actually over here anime is things, you know, like it's anime is part of geek culture, you know what I mean? Over there it's more accepted in a weird way, I want to say, for lack of a better word. It's more, you know, oh, we watch anime, you watch anime, you know what I mean? It's more, I guess, yeah, accepted is the word I want to use. So to be a voice actor for one of these big anime and stuff like that, things that you really enjoy, I think it takes more pride in it than to get it done. Versus, I'm not trying to say actors over here don't take pride and stuff. Actor and actors don't take pride in their work, but I'm just saying that it's more like it's more value in a weird way. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So there's more money. It's, for example, if you look at like these Marvel movies coming out, they're throwing tons of money into these things, right? I don't think the dub for a lot of these stuff over here has that kind of fun to put, you know what I mean, to get the type of resource they need to maybe get a really expressive or more, you know, actor to do the work and things to that extent. I don't know, I think I'm just rambling, but yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say.
I used to think it sounded better because I couldn't understand what they were saying. I'm assuming you're talking about the Japanese.
And I'm going to agree, it does sound better as far as like even though you can't understand what they're saying, but I think as far as like just listening to it, yeah, it does sound a lot better, and they do sound more expressive in a way. That makes any sense? I think.
Okay, that was a two-part. Sorry, that was a two-part comment. I used to think it sounded better because I couldn't understand what they were saying, but then I listened to the Italian dub. Man, Italian sucks.
Okay then. Let's just, you know, get a whole group of people and just kick them out, tell them how bad they are. Continue. Man.
I actually took Italian in middle school. And, I mean, I like the language. My teachers were mean, though. My teachers were very mean. It did not endear me to Italian in general.
You didn't want to join, learn everything?
No. I really just wanted to stare at my hot teachers. That was about it.
Yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah. Oh. Middle school was wonderful.
What did I do for middle school? I don't remember.
We got way off topic.
Yes, we are.
But I feel like for now we've kind of discussed out Boku no Hero Academia.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more we can talk about.
Yeah, like for the time being.
Yeah.
We'll just wait until, you know, things move a little forward. What else?
So I don't know, I seem like you got some people that's commenting over there. Do they have any idea of animes they want to hear about, or do you want to just move on to a different one?
Well, right now it's just Java. But Java, do you have any anime that you would like to discuss with myself and my friend Junior? Just gonna wait for him to type. I love this game, and I didn't think that I would, as much as I do. But ruling people and telling them to work for me is really cool.
I'm guessing that's your comment.
No, that's me. That's me. That's me. It's 100% me. I really enjoy.
Gotcha.
I really enjoy ruling people. I didn't think that I would.
I'll try it out and see.
Because honestly, it's like things get rough at the beginning when you have to farm all your own materials, but like the game really sets up as an engine. So the more facilities you have and the more people you have managing those facilities, the more items come into the kingdom's coffers and the kingdom's stores, and those are all yours to use. So things get a lot easier after a while. You just, as long as you're maintaining your kingdom, and your kingdom is always as as up to date as it can be for that point in your game, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll try it. I just don't, like I said, I'm trying not to stream a bunch of different games. You know what I mean? Trying to keep some form of what's the word? Uniformity,
yes,
I guess.
They are my pawns. They are my pawns, Jabba.
So I know you had to leave in a little bit. Do you still have time, or?
I have like about 15 minutes.
Okay, I don't think it's worth getting into another anime with that.
That's true. That's true.
Because I wanted to talk about Overlord, but I don't think it's worth it.
Oh yeah, no. There's just so much to discuss with Overlord. I want us to start with that.
Yeah, because.
And I want, I mean, I'm going. It's gonna take me like a good solid 20 minutes to properly express my rage at the idea of an anime that is ahead of a manga. Like, that makes no sense.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah,
no.
That's also another sore point, because I saw season 1 and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go read the manga, and I'm like, I'm behind the anime. What on earth is this?
That makes no sense. There's gotta be like some other website that we just haven't checked.
I gotta see. So the issue, what I realized, and actually I bought it. I have the book. I'll bring it. I'll lend it to you when I see you. But they're books with Overlord, actual books. So I'm guessing, right? And I haven't really. I have to look it up and see. I'm guessing the books came out, did well, and then the manga got made. Not the manga, the anime got made, and then the manga got made.
Okay.
So
yeah,
this is just my little 2 cents in the subject, but I think that the books did well enough that they were like, oh, let's make a manga, and then the manga did really well, and they're like, oh, maybe we could just do the anime, but we'll release that once every 2 months.
Oh, so bi-monthly?
It's like once a month, maybe 3, 4. Honestly, I haven't seen any episode in the last couple months, so I don't know when they're gonna do it.
Oh, Jabba, you don't need to convince me the dubs suck. I'm already with you on that one.
Dub all the way.
Yeah, Japanese #1. I completely agree.
Dub.
Dude, dubs are so bad.
Until I learn the language, dub isn't for me. I do it, but on a need to basis. So, dub.
Alright, nice meeting you, Jabba. Have fun.
Yeah, stop by again. Do a few more of these on every other weekend.
Yeah, we'll be doing this every other Saturday. Let's see. That's 3 out of 5. Well, I guess this would be a solid place to stop for now.
To end, yeah. I can't really end my stream here because I'm like in the middle of something and there's no real save in the middle of what I'm doing.
Fair.
So, I can only save when the days end pretty much. And I could go forcefully end the day, but I'll waste a whole day. And days are precious.
Okay, fair.
Days are literally really precious because you have seasons and days, and I've already screwed up, so I gotta wait a whole year before I can do certain things already. So, because it's a farming game, so you have the farming aspect of it, which means you have seasonal stuff, which means certain things require certain items, and if I don't have the seasonal item, I gotta wait till next year to do it.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
No. So that's the annoying part. I missed a few crops to get this. Like, they have this big town center in the game where you could it unlocks other parts of the game, and I forgot to plant some crops in the summer, and I didn't save them. So now that the town center is acting, I don't have them.
Okay.
So I'm kind of making sure, at least for the fact that I'm in summer now. What the earth? I'm getting my butt kicked by bats. I'm not really fond of this. Bunch of stupid bats just showing like, in sword and I can't even speak properly right now.
Okay, seriously, where the hell is this last table?
I gotta upgrade my axe. It's taking too much energy to do anything with it.
So, I think this will be a good solid point for me to end my stream.
Yeah, like I said, I could end right now and just finish this day up on my own. Cool. That's a good point to get down. Okay. Alright, I'm cool with this. I just got to a level in the mine where it saves.
Okay.
Dude, this mine sucks because if it doesn't save unless you hit, it has like save point levels, which is every 5 level. And the game has a luck system that I hate, because to find the ladders to get down, a lot of times either monsters drop it or they're hidden on the rocks that you gotta break. If your luck sucks, I've literally cleared up almost every rock in the mine before I get upstairs. And that could waste all day. You could spend 90% of your time on one level just trying to get down.
That sucks.
It's a simple farm game, but it's enough to. There's so much you could do, because there's still like it came out in like 2006, I think, 16, and there's still lots of stuff about it online. People are still putting stuff up. No, they just discovered this, they just discovered that. You could try this, you could try that, and then a bunch of people are just making mods for it and stuff like that too. So there's a lot you could do with it. I think you should try it. You'll enjoy it. Maybe.
I mean, I've heard about it. You were just talking about it a couple days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, let me go put some stuff in this jar and then I'm be ready to end this stream. Yeah, there's just so much to do sometimes. You're like, I need 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set my stream up to end now. Alright, so yeah, I think today we did a lot. It's almost the end of summer. I'm actually going to come back on a little later and finish up summer and then get into fall. But I think this is about it for me. Let's go to sleep and then we'll end this and call it a day. Come on. See what we make from pickles. Save already. Come on. Alright folks, thanks for stopping by, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys actually later today. I think I'll be on later today, so I'll see you guys then. Alright, peace.